What's up, everybody? It's Gonzo Shark. Welcome to the final installment of AWO's Top 50 Most Iconic Movie Deaths. It's the top 10. Let's do it.
Woo! AWO show, baby, for life.
For life.
For life.
For life, baby. What's up, everybody? Super excited to bring you this show. This is our favorite show that we've done yet. And as always, I'm with my awesome, incredible, fucking asshole co-host, the one and only SplatMan. What's up, brother?
What's up? The biggest asshole I think you've ever known.
Probably.
SplatMan.
Probably.
Here. I'm here in the flesh, ready to do our top 10.
I'm excited, dude. Let's get right into it. I'm going to preface it real quick by saying that last video, if you didn't see it, I had to knock one of them out. So this next movie is the one that I had to put in, and it easily could be anywhere on my list. I think that these top 5 that I'm about to name, I could probably move them anywhere. You probably feel the same way. This is a super sad death. It's from Rocky IV, when Apollo Creed gets killed by Ivan Drago in the ring. Fucking just killed me. Killed everybody that watched it. One of the most iconic Rocky movies, one of the most iconic scenes. Super sad. A huge villain made in that scene with Drago. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, dude, great scene. Great, just an emotional scene. You know, it's just Rocky going to throw the towel in, but you can't throw the towel in. Apollo did not want him to throw the towel in. To see Apollo Creed go down like that was sad to see. What a beast, fucking Ivan. Beast, fucking. I think his son is in the new one. I think Creed 2.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Creed 2, and I think it's Ivan Drago's son who's going to be fighting Michael B. Jordan.
Which is cool. That's totally cool.
No, I'm definitely cool with it because the Creed blew me away. I loved it. So, but back to that scene. Yeah, dude, great scene. I'm surprised. I didn't think of it. One of the, greatest movie series ever, the Rocky series.
Hell yeah. Hell
great pick, brother. Great pick. Way to start it off, my friend.
Yes, sir. Number 9. Hit us.
All right, number 9. All right. It's kind of a funny death, and I had to put this in because the actor is one of my all-time favorite comedians ever, and the actor is Bill Murray. Fucking awesome. Love him and everything is, and I had to stick this in there, and it's from Zombieland when Bill Murray gets shot with a shotgun. He's acting like a zombie, and he's sneaking up on Jesse Eisenberg, and Eisenberg was in the zone, watching a movie, and then just shoots him in the chest. And it's so funny because he's just sitting there, Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray going back and forth to bring me back to Kingpin days. That's why I love the scene so much. And just to see Bill Murray making those sounds, letting all his air out, but he's not dead yet, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard for them to be serious while he's dying because he's fucking Bill Murray, So such a great iconic death scene. So
I didn't even think of that, man, and that is fucking classic, dude. What more can I say? That's classic. That movie's great. I can't wait for Zombieland 2. They just announced that shit.
Oh fuck
all the same actors too, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, sweet.
All right, so let's move on to number 8, brother. One of the most iconic movies ever fucking made. And going back to one of your picks before, we were talking about CGI. And I'll take the CGI in this movie, 1975, even though it's not CGI, but I'll take the special effects in this movie over the movie that you picked in an earlier video. The movie is Jaws, and it's when Quint gets fucking eaten by Jaws on the ship. I'll never forget watching that, dude. I was 7 years old probably. And I remember in the beginning when the girl gets taken in by the shark, I was just hooked on that shit. I was zoned into that movie after that opening scene. And then at the end when Quint gets eaten and he's blood gurgling out of his mouth and he's fucking, it's just oh my God. And I'll take that over Deep Blue Sea CGI any day, brother.
Oh no, I agree. That's the Jaws. That's one of them. Probably everybody's within their top 10 iconic death scene. I mean,
was it on your list?
No, it
Good,
was
good,
very close to being on my list though. I kind of was hoping it was on your list, so that's good.
good.
I just remember him getting, chewed up and all the blood filling up the boat, like the end of the boat, and you see all
Oh
his
man.
blood, and it happens. It doesn't happen fast; it happens slow. Like
Yeah.
he's getting ripped apart, and to see it as a kid, like you said, it was like very like my father was like, you have to watch this movie, and it was just very intense to see that happen. But that's what makes Jaws one of a kind and just makes it great, dude. But yeah, it blows Deep Blue Sea out of the water.
Well, I will, and I'm just saying in general, like that death scene from 1975, as opposed to like the death scenes we see in shark movies now. I mean, even like the Shallows, that movie just came out a couple years ago about a shark. I liked it, but it's the CGI in that does not compare to what we saw in Jaws.
Yeah,
And
because they used all puppets and a
yeah,
robotic shark in Jaws, and that's what makes it more realistic. Because you can, I don't care who you are, you can tell when CGI is used.
yep,
And just that's why I like the whole back in the day, like Labyrinth, Jim Henson, those puppets. Those were all puppets. Those characters. Nowadays they'd be CGI, and we'd be able to see that.
yeah.
A great pick, Ian. Gonzo, fucking great pick. It's definitely iconic. Definitely one you'll never forget.
Number 7.
Number 7. On to number 7. All right. Number 7 is one of my favorite movies, and I had to pick 2 deaths from this movie between 2 deaths. So the movie is American History X, and the ending is when Edward Furlong, Edward Norton's younger brother in the movie, gets shot in the bathroom and killed. It was just like he had this huge turnaround from the whole movie. He hated black people. He hated everybody who wasn't white. He was a skinhead. He was a Nazi. He was following his brother's old footsteps, and throughout the whole movie, he gets better and better and better. And finally, he kind of sees the light, and he's better. He ends up going to the bathroom where the beginning of the movie started, where he blew smoke in a kid's face, and it ends that way in the bathroom, and he gets shot by that kid he blew smoke. It's just a shocker. It's just it was just a great movie, and to end like that, it was insane.
Dude, I'm so glad that you picked that right now, because when I was making this list out, and when we first talked about doing it, my girl was kind of throwing in some suggestions, because I was telling her I have to think of these, death scenes and this and that. And she brought that scene up. And I said, well, I already have the curb stomp on here. And she's like, yeah, so she's like arguing the point that the Edward Furlong death is like way more iconic than the curb stomp. And in a lot of ways, she was right. And I did have that on my list, but I ended up taking it off because I needed to narrow it down a little bit. So I took that one off, and I chose the curb stomp because I was looking at it more from a shock factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seeing that when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit, dude, he made him bite the curb and he fucking stomped his head. So that was like my mentality. But as far as like impactful, that one is more impactful. She was right. You're right. And I'm glad that you have it on your list, because it's in the top 10 now, and I took it off my list. So that's fucking cool.
So you don't even have the curb stomp on your list?
No, I do. I named that before, I think, didn't I? I'm pretty sure that was on my list before.
No, you never named the curb stomp.
No, you're right. I didn't. Yeah, see? I missed that one.
And that's
what the fuck? I missed it.
That's why I said in the beginning, like, I was torn between 2 deaths in this movie, and it was either the curb stomp or the Furlong death at the end. But I mean,
fuck it, bonus death. Bonus death.
The curb stomp. Death. If you haven't seen the curb stomp, Edward Norton makes a guy bite the curb, and then he kicks him in the back of the head.
Yeah,
and
just look right over here.
But it's so sad, and it's such a horrible, horrible way to go.
All right, so this is from one of my favorite movies. Came out in 2007, I believe. Another Coen Brothers movie. The movie is No Country for Old Men. I think it's a great movie, and I know it gets a lot of criticism. A lot of people didn't like the ending, whatever. I thought it was fucking great. And it's the scene where it's actually the second scene in the movie, and the way they start the movie out, and you don't know what's going on, and then they cut into this scene. So like your anticipation and your anxiety level is raised. just from the way this movie opens. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it. But the first scene is fucking unbelievable. But then the scene where he makes the guy get out of his car and he's carrying the fucking tank with the thing, and he's like, "Oh, please hold still, sir." And he puts the fucking thing right to his forehead, and that they say in the movie that it's like a bolt gun that kills a cow. That's how they kill cows. It shoots a bolt like 3 inches into their brain. But I mean, the guy just has no idea what's going on, and he's like, "Huh?" He's like even wondering, is this guy even a cop that just like pulled me over in a cop car? And then just hold still, sir. And you just see the blood trickle down. The guy drops, and you're like, "What the?" When I first saw the movie, I didn't even know what he did. I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" And then you find out later in the movie that it's a gun that's supposed to kill a cow or whatever. But have you seen that movie?
Yeah, and that's the same thing I thought when he first did it. I was like, "What the fuck?" I think I actually flicked onto that movie, and that was the scene I started on, and then I had to go back and watch it from the start. But that whole guy is just creepy.
Oh, dude.
He's just a strange dude, and just that's such a weird like device that I've never seen in any other movies used to kill somebody. And like you said, it just happened so quick. It's just like a right to the forehead, hole in the head, dead.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that sticks out to me. That's not on my list, but hey, that's awesome. That's why there's two of us here. It makes our list better. This is kind of a movie that came out, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. It's a new movie. I thought it was great. There was a sequel that just came out last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. But the movie is Kingsman. And there's a scene in Kingsman where I think it could have been my number one. Is the church scene, and it's Colin Firth and Sam Jackson. Well, Colin Firth goes into a church, filled up church. Every booth is filled up. Sam Jackson does something to the air. He has some technology that makes people go crazy and want to kill each other. And Colin Firth just goes ham on all these people in the church. He uses every single weapon. It's a slaughter fest, and he just kills every single one of them in the most brutal way. Just the filming of the scene is great. The camera angles, the way, dude, it just looks unbelievable. And like it's had to be on my list, and it had to be on top because I was blown away when I seen that scene.
Yeah, I've been actually heard. I never heard of those movies until a few months ago or like a year ago, and somebody told me, "Oh, those movies are sick." And I've never watched them, but I do want to see them.
Dude, you have to watch, especially this church scene, bro. It is insane, and I know you'd love it. You sick bastard.
Well, hey, I'm always down for a slaughter, so.
Yeah, I know you are. So
all right. Going back to Friday the 13th, okay, and I was so hoping that the first video we did when you started talking about Friday the 13th, I was like, man, he's gonna fucking steal this from me. He's gonna steal this scene, but you ended up naming a different one. This is from Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood or whatever. Not a great movie by any means. That's kind of one of the Friday the 13th's. Like, I mean, they're good, but they're not as good as the old ones. But they're fun to watch, and it's the scene where he pulls the guy out of the tent in his sleeping bag and whacks him against the fucking tree like 5 times, like a fucking baseball bat, and like breaks the guy in half over the tree while he's in his sleeping bag. And man, it's just I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That's just great. I loved it. I fucking love it.
It's funny and it's horrible at the same time.
It's so good, dude. That's what I love about Friday the 13th, because every movie that came out, they were just like, all right, let's fucking up the kills from last time. And my girl loves Friday the 13th so much, she has a book, and it's the Friday the 13th like huge chronology book or whatever, and it has like everything in it, and in the back it has a glossary of all the deaths from every movie.
Wow.
And this dude is like, dude, there's hundreds. It's crazy. There's like 200 deaths or something.
Dude, it's like they all get together and like, how are we gonna kill a teenager tonight?
Yep.
A couple of them actually.
Yep.
Great pick. I don't remember. I kind of remember a little bit, but I have to go back and refresh my memory. But good pick. Number 3. All right. Number 3 is probably one of the people will probably name one of the best comic book movies yet, and that's The Dark Knight. And I love the scene where you first see the Joker. You see all the mobsters around the table. They're all talking about what are they going to do about the Batman, or I forgot exactly what they were talking about. And they had the Chinese guy, the Asian guy on the screen talking to him. And he's like, he's kind of playing them a little bit, but you don't know that until later on in the movie. But then the Joker shows up, Heath Ledger, fucking badass. One of the head mobsters had one of his goons get up and try to take Joker out of the room, but nope. Joker puts a pencil, or yeah, I think it's a pencil or a pen, right onto the table. And he's like, "You want to see a magic trick?" I think he said something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes this guy's head. He goes, boom, right on the table, dead. Real quick, pencil through the head, through the eye, whatever. I fucking love that scene so
Hell
much.
Yeah, dude. Hell
to make it, I was wrong, actually. That's not the first time you see Joker. But to make an impact like that as the Joker was just awesome to start up a movie. And to go back to that, the very first time you see the Joker is, I think, the bank robbery scene, which is incredible. And there's even death scenes in that because the Joker just strategically takes every single one of his goons out to keep all the money for himself. But I had to put that scene in there because I think it's so funny and such an awesome Joker thing to do.
Great. That's a great scene. I didn't even think of that, but that's a great scene. All right, number 2. The real number 2 now. This is from my favorite horror movie. Well, it's tied. This movie's tied with Halloween for my favorite horror movie of all time. 1974, I think, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is like when I saw this scene in the movie, and the first time I saw the movie, it like felt almost like a snuff film because it was filmed so realistically. And it's the first time that you see Leatherface in the movie. When they find the house and the guy knocks on the door and he's like going in there trying to find him, and you just see this big steel slab door, and fucking the guy's like looking around, and all of a sudden the door flies open. It's Leatherface, and he's got like a fucking like a hammer in his hand, and he just fucking clubs the guy in the head, and the guy just drops and starts doing the kiver and like shaking on the ground and shit. And it just looks so fucking real, man. That, I mean, the first time I ever saw that, dude, I felt like almost like dirty in a way. Like, oh my God, like I actually just watched somebody get killed because of how fucking realistically it was filmed and how unbelievable the direction was for that scene, the way it was shot and everything. But you've obviously seen it, right?
Yeah, I did. Honestly, though, I'm not the biggest horror fan like you. You know, you like them a little more than I do. I can enjoy them. But I haven't seen those Leatherface in a while, actually, ever since I was little. So I don't really remember that one scene. I do remember getting freaked out by a scene in Leatherface back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of Leatherface, I kind of think of a newer movie because a newer Leatherface, and it's when the guy, I don't know what Leatherface it was, but it's when the guy got put on the spike, like the hook.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
And then he put the salt on his wound and they made him suffer. I think about that shit, and that shit fucking is a horrible way to go.
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah, oh, yeah.
But great pick, dude. Leatherface, such a classic. You know, just character, movies, just, great. Yeah, dude, it's sicko.
All right, brother. Hey, there's a lot riding on this. Number one. Number one.
All right, my number one, all right, is I have to go with this movie because it's one of our favorites, all right? And it's kind of like it's kind of like a torture death scene. And I love it because I love the actor. I love the ever since I was small, I just love the song. It just shows you Quentin Tarantino's sick and twisted ways. And it's like, it's from Reservoir Dogs, and it's stuck in the middle with you when he's torturing the guy in the chair, the officer, and he cut off his ear, and like, I just love that scene because the actor's perfect and how he's dancing around and like not giving a fuck and being a sicko. And then, you know, you think the the guy in the chair is gonna like pull it through, but no, one of the other gangsters comes in and shoots him up. He's like, that's a cop, bang, bang, bang. Yeah, so I had to put that on my list, and I thought it was worthy as number one because
fuck yeah, it is, dude.
That's one of my favorite, not only death scenes, but it's one of my favorite scenes in a movie. And just, I love it. It's got Free Willy Boy in it.
Dude, I'm so glad that you picked that, bro. I'm so glad that you picked that because when we do this, it's hard to fucking think of everything. So obviously that slipped my mind, but that easily could have been my number one. Easily.
I'm
Because
so glad
it's so iconic.
it is, and I'm so glad that you like the number one choice.
Oh, I love it, dude. I fucking love it.
It's just like I said, it's kind of like a torture. The death doesn't come until a little bit after, but it's just the whole thing in one just was like perfect and just stuck in the middle.
Yeah, especially with the song, dude. Oh,
it's like he's in the kitchen cooking dinner, but
yeah,
no,
dude.
he's torturing somebody.
And he's like carrying around the ear after and dancing.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck, dude?
I love it,
man. Well, that's it, man. Hey, this was fun. The top 50, I loved it. And let us know in the comments what do you want next? Because I got a lot of ideas. I'm sure you do of some more lists that we can do, especially with Halloween coming around. But let us know what you guys thought. Let us know in the comments if you have any ideas of some things that you'd like to see us cover as far as top 50 lists, top 10 lists, whatever, anything. Just let us know. Make sure you hit that red bell. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and what we're gonna do for you guys, we're gonna put all these death scenes into one video. We'll make a montage for you guys. So if you don't want to take the time and listen to us assholes talk and give you our opinions, you can just take your time and watch that video and get those badass death scenes back to back.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
Fuck yeah.
That's it, man. This was fun.
Great picks, Gonzo. I loving your picks.
Yeah.
And you were right. Our top 5, we didn't have any of ours on our list, but I mean, you should have had the curb stomp.
Yeah, I totally forgot it, dude.
But that's what makes us hard. Yeah, that's what makes us hard. Should we name before we go? Should we have some deaths that didn't make our lists?
Honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions?
Do we have time?
I can make some time.
Because I can make some time.
All right, well, I got a couple I'm going to name off for you right now.
Do it.
All right, just one moment. All right, I don't know if you ever seen this movie, but it's kind of a dumb movie, great, awesome movie, silly, stupid, great movie. It's Toxic Avenger, and in the beginning of the movie, these teenagers, these jocks, workout freaks, gym goons are driving in a car, and they see a little kid riding his bike. They decide to hit him. The kid falls off the bike. You think that's it, but no, they have to pull it in reverse, and they run the kid's head over, and you just see the kid's head pop with blood. And I was like, what the fuck? Because this kid's like 10 in the movie, and I was like, holy shit.
I just watched that too. I fucking love that movie.
Isn't that a sick way to start it off?
Dude. Those trauma movies are awesome, dude.
Yeah. I got American Beauty when Kevin Spacey gets killed at the end by his wife.
Yeah. I think
it's by his wife. The psycho death scene, of course, the shower scene. That scene, of course, is iconic.
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, Pinhead, one of the movies, this guy is in the middle of a room, and Pinhead had hooks hooked to him, his whole body, and like his skin was slowly peeling off, and all of a sudden the hooks just all pulled, and his body just his skin and his everything just came apart. That was pretty crazy. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Yondu dies at the end, it was heart-wrenching. It was nice, you know. It was just I love those movies. So this is the end. The Seth Rogen movie had such a great death in it. The one that sticks out to me is Michael Cera's death. In the beginning, he's calling everybody out, being assholes, saying, "Where's my cell phone? Who took my cell phone?" And then all of a sudden, he gets a street light through his chest, and he's like, "Oh, guys, I found my cell phone," and it's just hilarious. And at the end, when James Franco gets his nose bit off by Danny McBride, it was just fucking great. This is the end. Jaws was on my list, but Gonzo already said it. Every single Goodfella death. You mentioned Departed, Leonardo DiCaprio getting killed, but you also think of Mark Wahlberg shooting Matt Damon at the very end of the movie. That was a shocker,
but also Martin Sheen too, getting thrown off the fucking building.
Oh yeah, that was an unexpected drop, bam, splat. And then I have Jigsaw. It was something recently I seen. I was trying to look up some deaths. Jigsaw is the new Saw movie that came out called Jigsaw.
Yeah.
And this guy's got like this thing around his neck, and it has like lasers pointed up like this. And all of a sudden the lasers close to his head and just go through his head. and nothing happens until he drops to the floor, and his head looks like a fucking octopus. It's just like it's crazy. And then one that I forgot, and my buddy mentioned it the other day at work, and it's Keanu Reeves movie Hardball. I don't know if you ever seen that movie,
I did
but
a long time ago.
but it was when one of the little boys, the youngest little boy, I think his name was G Money, gets shot by a hood shooting, a gangster shootout, drive by, whatever it was, and it was just wicked, like wicked sad moment. But yeah, those are the ones I have. Gonzo, you got any?
Yeah, I got some that I just actually, a lot of these I just thought of off the top of my head, and ones that I just remembered. One that I'll name right now is Four Brothers with Mark Wahlberg. When the grandmother gets shot. That's a great movie, and
the younger brother.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And when the younger brother gets shot.
Yep. The other one is a movie that you named on one of our last videos, Running Scared. When at the beginning, when there's like that gangster shootout and that guy gets his dick shot off, that was pretty fucking intense.
Or the hockey puck to the head.
Oh, that too. That
was crazy.
Saw, the first Saw movie, when Carrie Ells has to like saw his leg off at the end of the movie. That was crazy. A little movie I found out about like 2 years ago called You're Next. It's a horror movie that came out maybe like 5-6 years ago. And I mean, it looks stupid. The cover looks fucking stupid, but I decided to watch it because I heard it was good. And there's a lot of fucking deaths in that movie that are just like, holy shit. But one that I think about right away is at the beginning of the movie, you know, the guy's looking out the window and he sees like somebody out in like the trees or whatever, like standing by a tree. He's like, what the fuck is that? What's going on? And the guy just gets a fucking arrow, comes through the window and right through him. And everybody at the dinner is just like, has no idea that was coming. And the guy's just fucking got an arrow and he's about to die. But there's a ton of great deaths in that movie. But that one sticks out to me. Cabin Fever from back in the day in like 2003. There's a lot of good deaths in that one too. But I just think about the girl getting eaten by the dog. You know, she's like rotting away in that little cabin outside, or the little hut. And they're keeping her out there because they think she's contagious. And then finally the dog gets to her and kills her and like eats her. That was pretty fucking rough. Then I also have The Ruins. A pretty fucking, not a very good movie at all. But I always just think about the part when like the girl has like the fucking vines inside of her and they're like slithering through her. It's like just the weirdest thing. And I'm pretty sure she dies. I'm not even sure, but I just always think of that, you know. I don't think the vines kill her though. That's the thing, but whatever. It's still a cool scene. The Hills Have Eyes, the remake, when the two fucking inbred dudes or whatever come into their trailer, and like the first time you see them and they're like raping the girl in the back, and then they just shoot that fucking chick right in the head.
Why their dad's getting burned alive, and that shit looked real as shit.
Yeah, dude.
Their mom gets shot in the stomach. Their sister gets shot in the head. Then the dad's burning.
Shit crazy. I saw that in the theaters, and
I hated that movie because I want to get in that movie and I want to kill every single one of those fucking people. But I love that movie so much.
It's so good. I want to see that, dude. I've never seen the original.
I know, dude. I haven't seen it either.
But so then last but not least, and it's actually kind of tough that this was not even on my list, and I can't believe it wasn't in my top 5 because it easily could have been.
I have one too that is on my list that I didn't mention. I hope it's the same one. Let's go with here.
Well, it's True Romance, so I don't think it's going to be the same one. But it's the scene when Dennis Hopper gets shot by Christopher Walken. It's just literally, if I had to rate like movie scenes, like top movie scenes, which is an idea that we could do, this would easily be in my top 5. Might even be my number 1. You know, just the whole scene, and then finally, you know, Christopher Walken shoots fucking Dennis Hopper in the face, and it's just like, holy shit. But I mean, there's even other deaths in that movie too. You know, James Gandolfini, when he dies, that's a crazy, intense death. But what do you got? What's the last one to say?
This is one I had to take off because I had my list all messed up, and I didn't know until today, which is Pulp Fiction, is the rape scene when Bruce Willis takes the sword and he puts the guy through the guy's chest. It was so like, and then he shoots the guy in the dick, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it was so like it was like, dude, these bastards deserve it, dude. How fucking sick can you be?
I thought of that death too, bro. I thought of it too.
And what makes it awesome is when Bruce Willis has a sword. I mean, he's going through the bat. I think he picks up a bat.
Yeah.
And then he picks up something else, and he sees the sword. He's like, all right, that fucking thing.
Yeah.
So that almost made my list, and it probably should have.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Gonzo Shark's checking out. Peace.
Yeah, and SplatMan's out of here. It was fun. Everybody loves a good death scene.